Hello, this is Alessandrina with Dexter and Alessandrina. And today I want to talk to you about relationship and how there are no perfect relationship and that's not a problem. Relationship don't need to be perfect to be enjoyable, filled with love, filled with support and fulfillment and creativity. So whether it's things we've heard, maybe family members say, or things we've seen on TV, or even books we read as little children, especially little girls, about the perfect prince. Whatever it is that has conditioned us into expecting a perfect partner or perfect relationship, it's very good to recognize that and to be able to let it go. To be able to say, it's okay and it's safe to have an imperfect relationship, and to see the value of that, to see the growth in that, to see how wonderful it is that we get to learn and grow and evolve through relationship and with a partner that we choose. So now I'm not saying that it's always easy, because again, if we have this misapprehension that they can be a perfect relationship or a perfect partner, we can, every time something arises, we can feel like something's wrong. Something's wrong with us, something's wrong with them, something's wrong with the relationship. Instead of just realizing that the process of relationship is two people getting together and working through their karmas. Now, two people can get together and have very positive karmas, meaning that they can both have worked together on many patterns and aspects of their being that was not supportive of relationship dynamics and relationship harmony. And by having done that, they can be more harmony, more ease, more peace, more love, more joy in the relationship. They have more bandwidth for that. And then there's also negative karma. So when we are in relationship with people, we are going to have negative karmas. And what I mean by that is patterns that don't match. And so in a way, I often say, like, our patterns are fighting each other. And really what it is, in many ways, it's our parents fighting each other. Not that it's our parents' fault, simply that they embodied certain patterns that they inherited. They didn't work through them. And so then you inherit them. Whatever your parents didn't learn, didn't resolve, didn't heal, whatever belief system and fear and expectation and judgment, ego dynamics they carried in their system and embodied and modeled for you, even if they said something else, what they embodied is what you received, is the lesson you received. So if you learned all these things, and there's a lot of conflicting, painful beliefs and fears, expectations and judgments, of course that's going to get triggered with somebody else. You're never going to find someone who has the exact same karmas as you, the exact same life experiences, the same, if you believe in past life, the same past lives and ways in which those past lives continue to have influence on the current lifetime, unresolved emotions and energy from past lives. So there's no two people on earth that are the same. And that's okay. That's actually wonderful. Probably if you met yourself on the street, you might not want to hang out with yourself for that long. So we don't need to be the same in relationship for us to find peace, joy, respect, integrity, support, commitment. That's what relationship is about. It's about exploring those things, not expecting ourselves to come with those things complete. It's very unlikely. Actually, probably the people on the planet who have that, they're not necessarily in a relationship, because their relationship to themselves or to the divine, to spirit, is so strong that there's no need for a relationship. And not to say that they couldn't be spiritual masters that choose also for karmic reasons to be in relationship. That said, it's not as a process of evolution and growth and resolution of karmas. It's really a chosen path to maybe facilitate the person that they're in relationship with, or to help on some level, on some karmic level, to help. So there's no perfect relationship. And when we can accept that, and we can really realize that, so the acceptance is not forcing yourself to accept that. It's really just meditating on that, how there are no perfect relationships. And then once you found that that is true, and you embrace it, and you then focus and realize what is possible through relationship, meaning all the karmas you'll resolve, all the learning you'll make, how you will really learn unconditional love, and how you will embody and model certain energies in yourself in the context of the relationship that will be so healing for you and for your partner. So this is what relationship is about. It's about when pattern against pattern come against each other, and we either are aware that it's our parents in this lifetime, in past lifetimes, our ancestors that are really just fighting each other for survival, and then we let go, we surrender. We're not so attached and tense and contracted around what needs to happen, or being in control, or our pattern, or our parents winning and being the ones who define the reality of your experience and of the experience of your partner and of the relationship. So becoming aware of that really gives you space to appreciate the imperfection in relationship, and to commit in relationship to working through the challenging things. And not saying that when the challenging things come up, not saying, oh, I quit, or I give up, or this is not working, or this is not the partner for me. That's kind of the easy way out. And I'm not saying that we can get to a point where if someone is not evolving with us, that we can get to a point where we might choose something else, not out of aversion or reaction or fear, really out of seeking a specific experience in this lifetime, and your soul, for instance, maybe having wanted that. And it's difficult to kind of be able to assess that, whether we're running away from fear of the discomfort and the pain that's coming up in the relationship, or whether we're simply having resolved as much of the pain as we could in that lifetime, just choosing a different path, choosing a different experience. And then realizing anything that is not resolved, where you were not actually completely aligned, you were escaping some of your fear and pain, that will be worked out at another time, another lifetime, for instance. So it's not a problem. It's important to have those perspectives so that you can be more grounded during arguments, and more at peace, and not feel like, the world is ending, and therefore make decisions from that, say things from that, instead of realizing, oh, my partner is in a pattern right now, and I'll sit and watch and learn from it, and also observe in myself what is arising in that context when they get triggered and they're in fear, so that I can work through my stuff. And then if I work through my stuff and I accept and I understand their stuff, their patterns, then things become much more stable. And it's easier to work with the patterns themselves, because we don't get so triggered by the patterns and by our patterns and then by the fear of losing the relationship, or the fear that something's wrong or something bad is happening. When we don't resonate with those fears, we start to see the path to alignment. We start to see the path to being able to harmonize more with our partner, and to have the relationship that we want, which will not be perfect. And it will be perfect in many ways, meaning that it will help you play out your karmas. And ultimately, it will be more conscious. And so if we're not looking for a perfect relationship, because they don't exist, we can be choosing to create a conscious one. And that takes two people coming together and choosing to be conscious of their patterns and their fears and to work through them so that they can align themselves and energetically resonate without fear of something's wrong if things are not done exactly the same way. So just accepting that harmony and that balance and being able to live together as one and also in a way separate with two different egos and working through that to dissolve that until two are one. And that can happen. It can happen in a lifetime where when we begin to resonate in that way and really work on dissolving the ego, we can get to a point where our relationships are very deep, very fulfilling, very connected, and there's in a way that is not really possible to express with words because it's really a connection beyond the ego and a sense of oneness that is beyond the ego that the I cannot think of, the I cannot realize or recognize. I hope this is helpful and that it gives you some guidance and support working through your relationship conflicts or relationship doubts, and that this information helps you apply new ways and create new paths to resolution of negative patterns and conflicts in your relationship and to find true happiness and great joy and a beautiful love as unconditional as it can be found. Wishing you much love. Bye.